You're live.
What if I don't want to be live?
You're live.
But you always put me live.
You betcha.
Okay. God. I feel like it's right up here in my face. But Smudge, fetch me a beer. Did you want a dark beer or a regular beer? And I think all we have are in bottles. I think, even if we have any. I think there are a few downstairs in the fridge. So hope everyone had a wonderful weekend. I don't know if we did or not.
I don't know, but you need to talk more so I can see if we're good here.
Okay, can everybody hear me? I don't know, yes. Hey, Micro Farmer, welcome. Mama Z, Amanda from Albany Mountain Homestead, Kilted Gardener, hello, Robert. Miss Allison, how are you, sweetheart? Evans Family Homestead from Arkansas, Lisa Lee, haven't seen you in a while. Carrie, Built on a Rock Homestead. Sabrina, love you more. Boots and Bounty Homestead. Who else? Trip H. Is Trip H still in here? I know he was in here earlier. Wide Family Farm. I was watching your live stream earlier on Facebook, and I think it buffered its way out. Lear's Farmish. How are you? How are you? Dutch, are you still in here? I see you were the first one. You're live here next week. Geeky Gardens, how are you?
No, he's not.
Geeky Gardens what? Oh, no, excuse me. He's in 2 weeks. You're right. I apologize. Dutch is in 2 weeks. Next week is City Girl.
Country Heart.
Terry. Linda Jacobs, hello. Richard Barnes, hey, how are you? How's things down your way?
Mr. Willie.
Mr. Willie is here.
Yeah. Linda Jacobs.
What are you going to learn tonight? Well, how to spell our names. I just thought I'd throw that out. Hi, Teresa. Lee, I'm pretty sure it's Teresa. How are you? Grandma's Garden. Hello, peoples. Country Homestead Preacher. Hello. Got a few Buckeyes in here. Kentucky and New York and Arkansas.
Always nice to have some nuts in the room.
Well, we're already there, so.
Well, yeah.
No. But you're not on the screen. So I'm going like this, and they're wondering, who in the H is she talking to? See, Mr. Willie, you can't get me. I didn't say the word. There's Trip H. Silhouette Park Farm, good morning. How are you? Booting up your laptop. Skinner Farms, Micro Farmer, Connecticut. Cool. What are you sorry about, Mr. Willie? Did you see that I friended you on Facebook yesterday? There's Dutch. Oh, yes. And Virginia, which is where we should have been this past weekend, right? If everything would have worked out the way it was supposed to.
Yeah. So even though we were prepped for it, it failed.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Oh yeah, I bet Lee does go to bed quite early. Oh, it's raining, thunder, and lightning down there. I'm not ready for it to come up. Well, I'd rather have rain than snow. So.
Skinner Farms out of Indiana.
Yep. Sean in Alaska. I wonder where Sean's from.
Alaska.
Think so?
Maybe.
Yeah. Oh, that's okay, Mr. Willie. I was teasing you. Sean, can you sing us that song?
Hey, SketchUp's a wonderful program, Trip H.
Yeah, we since we don't buy tickets because we volunteer, I didn't get to see any of the Zooms or live streams or however they did this weekend, but I heard they were fantastic. Evans family, good evening. 27. Hey there, Brandon's Outdoor Adventures. Welcome, welcome. See there? He is smart, isn't he? Good guess.
You betcha.
Yeah.
You betcha.
And Allison, way up north. Don't you start on me, Sean. Because you know that's going to go through my head all night long. Allison, who is now a retired woman.
Oh, you said retired.
Yes,
Okay.
I did.
Okay. Just clarifying.
Yeah, with an I. You're free? You're free on the 26th? Well, how about that, Dutch? We have you marked down for the 26th. Oh,
Well, SolidWorks is obviously a more substantial program than SketchUp, but for the price, SketchUp is hard to beat.
yeah. You know what? You go live when you feel comfortable, Silhouette, and those of us in the States, we'll catch up with you. I mean, we're up to some strange hours, and I get up early sometimes I don't, and we'll figure it out. Because I know with even the ones that are in England and that and Dutch, obviously he's in Holland, so there's a time difference there also. Hey, Farmer Brad, how are you? Indiana in the house? Oh yeah, Dutch. I have my planner. In fact, I'm going to have to be scouring for a new one. Kenneth, the Kentucky family. Hello, welcome. Okay, let me know, because I haven't been on at all. Yeah. Well, Allison, there are times that I don't think so either. How's that? Yeah, you're right. YouTube has no time zones. That's correct. So how's your sardine can coming? Is it going to be road ready by the spring? Remember, I told you she bought a sardine can?
Yes.
Only because I can't remember what they're called.
It's Airstream.
Airstreams, that's right. She has an Airstream.
But if it's old enough, it could be called an Argosy.
I don't think it's that old. It doesn't look that old.
Okay.
Allison, what year is your Airstream?
Is it a classic?
Monday night YouTube and a cold adult beverage. Well, I still have some of the wine that we partook in last Monday in the refrigerator. I could get that instead of this water I'm drinking.
Well, anyway, you want me to get the phone lines opened up?
Oh, sure.
That way I can get on the screen and join you here.
Half Acre Dreams. How are you? Half Acre Dreams. You got to watch out for lizards. You just bought a pop-up camper, like one of those Craftsman type. This is 71. 71's a good year. I hear that's when Daryl graduated.
70, 71, somewhere in there. Who's counting?
It's road ready. Just needs to be cleaned out. I know. I'm such a big drinker. Well, since Passover, I have learned after 6 decades that I like Moscato wine.
Okay, so we've got the phone lines are open.
Howdy Garden, good evening.
If anybody would like to call in, kind of an open format tonight. As Sherry said originally here, we had not planned on having a Monday Night Live tonight. It just was never in the books, because we had planned to be on the way back from Virginia, and that did not happen. So all the best laid plans didn't come to fruition, I guess.
Kilted Gardener, you scared him, put the beard back on. It's in the trash can, Robert. That scared me. Oh, you towed it from Maine to Long Island? Oy.
So
I hope
anyway,
you got it for a good price.
the phone numbers are on the screen. You then type in the meeting ID and hit pound, and then you have to hit pound again. Then you have to type in the passcode. That'll put you into a waiting room where I can see where you're connected, and then I can admit you into the room.
Sabrina, do you have your towel?
Once you are in the room, anything you say is live and
Eli.
fully on the internet.
Yes.
So
The HOA was canceled due to the pandemic. It was online this past weekend. The only ones that actually happened this year were the Doug and Stacy's off grid, the Life Conference in Hannibal, Missouri, which we went to, and Heartland Homesteaders Picnic on September 15th in Kentucky. That was,
well, didn't Red have?
and Red had one in Virginia,
And I don't.
August 15th.
And it seems to me there was something way out on the coast, but I'm not sure.
Well, there's one October 24th, did I say, in Oklahoma.
So
Yeah, October 24th. There's a meetup in Oklahoma.
so anyway, most of the all of the cancellations this year.
Yeah, but Robert, he just did that, so we would have been on the road Wednesday, so you would have known him this year. The beer flu strikes again. Yep, the beer flu. You got it.
COVID, our wonderful thing that has kept everybody home and has caused massive shortages in a lot of things.
Yeah.
And not to mention toilet paper, coins. The latest that we are aware of right now, anyway, is canning jars and lids and everything else. As a matter of fact,
Tomorrow we're probably. You think you're going to get locked down in Holland tomorrow? Wow.
Well-
when Ken, is that like a meetup for open for anybody or just a family meetup? I think we need to call them demonstrations. That way they can have more than 10 people come. Richard, that's what Brad Talby. That's what he does. He tows campers from he goes.
He delivers
them.
them.
He delivers them. That's what Brad Talby does.
yeah, he picks them up in Indiana and delivers them all over the country.
Well, Half Acre Dreams, we're planning on the Buckeye Sizzler next year. I just have to figure out a weekend. It'll probably be. Well, we planned it this year for June 6th, so I'm thinking June 1st of June again. You got your immunity? There you go.
And for those of you that are wondering, according to things we hear as of late here, starting about November the 4th and 5th and 6th, somewhere in that area, everything's going to be done.
Of November?
Yeah,
Jeez, that's what everybody's saying.
yeah. Yeah, this is all going to magically disappear.
Well, it's no different than
So,
because of Governor DeWitt
do it.
that,
Okay.
Bars can only be open till 10. So at 10,
Yeah,
there's no more COVID.
Yeah, at 10 o'clock, the virus strikes.
Wear your mask into a restaurant, but as soon as you sit down at a table, you can take it off.
Yep, yep.
Just drive me.
You go to the gas station, you have to wear it to go in, but
Ooh, 18 boxes of lids at Walmart. Now, we went to several stores the other day, and Daryl has some video to put together. None. Not one box of lids.
yeah. So if you can catch them just right, you may find some, but for the
Ooh,
most part,
Trip H, I hope is like not an emergency surgery. Well, that would be at the end of October. So
anyway, in doing
lots of loves and hugs to her.
a little bit of looking Okay, should be able to hear me now. Since I just prepared that screen, I had not added the microphone into it. I apologize for that oversight. So anyway, this screen that you see in front of you here, this changes every day. It's an accumulation of data that's gathered worldwide and put together by Johns Hopkins University. And this happens to be the online dashboard that many people can have up. And if you notice with the map here, you see how red the United States is. But that's really, it really isn't solid red like that. If you elect to zoom in, at this point, let me get it kind of centered here. So at this point, it begins to look a lot like the streetlights in the cities. And I think, in my opinion, what this represents more than anything is the fact that the testing in the United States is very, very widespread. It's not go to the big city to be tested. It is pretty much everywhere. So the numbers for the United States are really not that bad, considering they don't even know exactly what causes it. They don't know exactly how it's transmitted. So they don't even know if an animal can carry it or not, if a food can carry it or not. They have found it in poop. So I guess shit can carry it.
Dutch wants to know if you can share that link.
If you just go to Johns Hopkins University, I mean, it's a very, very long link here. And just, well...
Hold on.
Let me see here.
The Resource Center?
Let me do this.
Because I can put up the link for the Resource Center, if that's where you got it.
No, it doesn't actually come from the Resource Center.
Gotcha. Okay, then I'm not going to go grab it then.
Well, here, let me do this. Let me pull our prep list up because it's a long list.
Yeah, he did. Kilted Gardner.
Yes, it's your duty.
Yeah, but you can't say that if Robin's not in here.
Well, she should be. She may be. They may have the TV on.
That's true. They may be listening and she's hysterically laughing and
You betcha.
Jason could be rolling his eyes saying, darn you, Daryl, I'll get you.
Okay, so here is a list that we have started. Sherry, maybe you can read some of that as it scrolls up through. And I will get this.
Oh, the prep list to start with?
Yeah.
Well, you just start scrolling and I know I can't. Antiseptics, ammunition, aspirin, an axe, hatchet, or sharpener for wood chopping, Berkey water filter, blankets, Mylar blankets, fleece and wool blankets, bleach, boots, bouillon cubes, borax, burn barrels, bucket openers, buckets of emergency food, you know, that dehydrated stuff. That stuff that'll last 25 years. A bug out bag. A bug out bike. Well, you already have burn barrels, so I won't go there again. Cable ties.
Okay,
Well, they can all read them.
And here is the list, or the link rather, for that that I had put up there.
Yes, Half Acre Dreams, we have well water. I can so taste the difference when we go places.
And this
Yeah,
list,
he hasn't.
this list that I is scrolling through slowly here on the screen. This is not an all-inclusive list. This is just kind of get started. You know, do you see something on here that you hadn't thought about that maybe you should have? And of course, it's going to be different for one person than it will be for another.
Okay, Richard.
President of Ohio. Okay, Rich, absolutely.
Can I be Secretary of State then, Richard? I type really well. Yeah, Teresa, I think I saw you mention that. Was it on something on Facebook you said that? Or maybe another live stream? I think it was another live stream you were talking about that. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Quite a few. Well, our neighborhood, I think everybody has a well. Now, where we lived before, it was a community well.
Right.
And we were almost at the bottom. So when something happened and the well stopped, no. Yeah, the well was up at the top.
Yeah, but we were nowhere close to the
No,
bottom.
we weren't at the bottom, but when it stopped,
Yeah, there were only like 4 houses
yeah,
above us.
we had no water. But yeah, I don't like. I can tell the difference when we go like in a city or something.
And folks, even if you don't smoke, a lot of people do, and they got to have their nicotine fit. So
That's right. It was Kathy. Thank you, Teresa.
makes for good bartering things.
Heck, at this point, canning jars make for good bartering.
Well, canning jars is listed in here.
Yep.
It may just say mason jars, but
Sean's shooting for Emperor of the North. Oh, I can expand my territory. Sydney Broussard, how are you? How I saw the picture of you in the boots and the house, but how did your property fare? Good evening, Sue Downtown Mini Homesteader. Welcome, welcome. Chewing gum. Dutch is asking about chewing gum.
asking about chewing gum? Chewing gums, besides just making one feel better, it can be mixed with some medicines where you can take it in that fashion that you may not be able to take it in other ways. It can help lower your cholesterol. That one kind of surprised me.
Yeah, handheld battery games for us who like to play games on our tablets. Oh, Lord. Daryl would be lost if he couldn't play his little game on his tablet.
No, I have a game
Oh,
on the phone.
VP. Okay, I've been promoted from Secretary of State to VP already.
There you
I
go.
like that. Yep.
And of course, firearms, and you got to have ammunition for those. Fire extinguishers, fire starters. So not only do you have to be able to start the fire, you got to be able to put it out. Anybody recall what a Fresnel lens is?
Nope. Never heard of it.
A Fresnel lens. Does anybody in the chat even know what it is?
Winter stuff. Hidden within myself. Good evening.
Fresnel lens. I'm not seeing anybody putting anything in there. I'm a little surprised. Well, Dutch is saying yes. What is it? Fresnel lens. It's kind of like a magnifying glass.
Oh, there you go. Sean knew. I did that, Sean, when I was like,
Yeah.
10 or 11.
Yeah, you can start fires with it. If it's of big enough
Hey, Brett
size,
and
you can
Cindy.
use it. You can use it just for heat. You can actually heat up a can and use that as a heat source, even when it's real cold outside, because it generates no. You just have to have sun.
Heaven's Gate, welcome, welcome. You don't know what it is, but you want one. I hear you. Yeah, you can start fire with the magnifying glass.
Absolutely.
Ask me how I know.
Heaven Gates Cherry Farm. How are you doing?
Oh, you mean like the Harris Biden thing, Richard? Sure, you can be. If we're going to be president and vice president of Ohio, you can be foreign minister of Australia. What the heck?
I think we need to import the weather from California and just let California slide into the Pacific.
Well, just make sure my family gets out of there first.
Well, yeah, they can do that.
Okay. Do you have any 12 gauge? Having a hard time getting deer slugs for 12 gauge. Trespassing into the wild. Good evening. I like that name.
I don't know about in your area, Lee, but a lot of times,
That's Teresa.
or Teresa, a lot of times the smaller outfitter type stores will have the ammunition you want, because people don't think of them, and they're a few bucks more than the discount places. But the Rural Kings here, last time I looked, had plenty of
Hey, bub.
slugs for 20 gauge, 16 gauge, and 12 gauge. They even had some 410 slugs.
Yeah, Teresa, I've heard a lot of folks saying that ammo is hard to find right now, and people are already starting to barter with ammo. Half Acre Dreams, we have one. Where'd we go? Canton? Didn't we go drive to Canton that one time for you to buy that?
To buy what?
Your ammo machine?
No,
Is that where we went?
Got it in Ashland.
Ashland? Okay.
Got it in Feather and Fur.
Oh, okay.
So again, the list is kind of scrolling over here. If somebody would like a copy of this list,
Hey, Ghostly Grim.
send me an email, and I will send you a copy back of this. Matter of fact, it looks to me like the end of the list is cut
End of
off.
the list.
Well, I think the end of the list has been cut off.
Yeah, because it's starting over. Oh, yeah, hidden within myself, I have lots of fabric. And I still have a lot of my mother's patterns, but obviously those are, 60 plus years old. There's Big Bear Homestead.
See you in here? All right.
Why are we prepping? Isn't Sleepy Joe going to save us? Yeah, go ahead and laugh, Jason. I'm not sure that's what's going to happen if that happens. It's like the lesser of two evils. How old is she, Boots and Bounty? And speaking of hunting, has Miss Ledessa got any, was it deer or goose season? Jason, I forgot which one you said it was. Oh, that's cool. You sew for the public doing alterations. My mother was a seamstress. So when I brought home I know, 29 days, didn't you see my post on Facebook? Because there's going to be some, in the package I'm sending, there's going to be a few little things for him also. My mother was a seamstress, so when I got a F on my one grade and when I was a senior in high school in home ec, she wasn't too pleased with me. Yeah, hidden within myself. My mom used to take patterns and copy them on like butcher paper. So yeah, same thing. Yes, my patterns are vintage. You're right. Sort of like me. Goose. It was goose season. So did you go out and get any geese yet? Ghostly Grim, 13 years ago, I don't want to say we had the opportunity. My son and his family stayed at a Ronald McDonald house up here. And I have nothing but high regards to say about that place. Nothing. I mean, they were fantastic. I'm sorry, Jason.
I guess I better get back to the chat here. What's going on?
You need to make a 1920s dress? Why is that? Farmer Brad, that would be too cool. Yeah, the final grade was we had to make something with a lining. So my mother picked out the fabric and the color of the lining, and I didn't like either. So to this day, the lining is still just tacked in it was a jacket, gray, like a gray flannel jacket. Yeah. My teacher asked me, your mother's a seamstress, this should be finished. And I go, yeah. I said, she makes all my clothes. Why do I have to learn how to sew? Yeah.
So anyway, I know there's some more serious preppers out there than a lot. If any of you folks would like to call in, kind of share some of your stories, some of the things
Hey, Pathways Homestead.
that you do at your home, some things maybe you've been having a problem locating. The numbers are on the screen,
Carol.
and we'd be glad to have you on the show here.
I'm glad. Are your lights still at the same spot, Jason? I mean, when I saw those, it was just like they just spoke to me, sort of go, these are for Apollo. Heritage Ways, how are you, Katie? Have the new old house pretty much done and settled in? I see your fifth wheel is for sale. They went to, I didn't even know Loudonville had their street fair this past weekend.
Oh, I didn't either.
No. So I told her, I said, oh, I would have gone. And how do you know the alcohol's sold out, Darlene?
Well, are you talking the drinking alcohol, or are you talking?
Oh, that's true. Well, yeah, rubbing alcohol, that was sold out. That was sold out almost immediately. Okay. Cool. Carol's having problems locating a good pump action shotgun.
Boy, it's been so long since I've gone and looked at prices on those.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, rubbing alcohol. Yeah, as soon as this, hey, Christy, as soon as this stuff all hit, like in March, that was one of the first things that you couldn't find was rubbing alcohol. I found some, but it's like mint. It has peppermint in it.
But a suggestion on guns and even ammunition is local gun shows.
Are you sure she didn't turn it off on purpose, Jason? Yeah, a lot of them. I guess Ashland, Katie, instead of the Ashland Fair, they did, guess this past weekend was like a food truck thing. Low past your curfew. Working on your miter saw table, were you? Yeah, Katie, once you get settled, we'll have to get together because I'd love to come down. Thank you, Ridge Life. That's very sweet of you. The door gets locked on you. Yeah, see, Sabrina, Daryl can make his own. What you doing?
I'm getting this other screen ready.
Oh, okay. I'm surprised a lot of these places are even having trick or treat, Richard. Eiffel Tower and Queen Elizabeth. Now those would be cool to see. Jason, I read that as a brisket joiner, and I'm going, what is a brisket joiner? You know what, Katie, in fact, I told Daryl, I said we should go to some of the Amish stores up this way and see what they have, because I bet you they have lids and canning supplies. Mm-hmm.
Well, Layman's doesn't. They are out.
Well, Layman's isn't like some of the Amish stores, like some of the small ones that we go to around here. Is that the, Katie, is that the one on, what's 314? Is it the Amish store on 314 that we've gone to? Is that 314, Katie, that you go to the Amish store? Yeah, the church across from us usually does the trunk or treat. But from what I heard, there are the cities still doing their trick or treat. Mm-hmm. Wonderful, blessed life. Good evening. Nice to see you back. Oh, that's right, Katie. You were there at the beginning of October. And Save Mart has canning lids. Thank you, Eli. That's great. Yeah, skills are. Without the skills, you're going to be lost. Yeah. Christy, you can get them on Walmart online. Canning lids. I've seen them.
Well, and of course, the other thing is to be smart in your stocking up on supplies. You don't want to go overboard. You want to have enough, but you don't want to have waste.
Right. Yeah, see, off 314. Mm-hmm. Yep, because I think we stopped there one time. We haven't done that in a long time.
Don't ask me directions.
Katie, I go by landmarks. I don't do north, south, east, west. I do landmarks left and right. Carol. That's true, Carrie. Got a point.
Well, fishes in Lowe's life. Prepping can turn into peeping suddenly with autocorrect. So,
Going towards Chesterville on 340. Like, I know where Chesterville is.
Well,
Right turn at First Road past my dad's farm. That'd be right turn. Now, this place that we went to is right on 314. You go by restaurants, see there? Landmarks. No wonder we get along. Everclear. Everclear will cure anything, Allison.
yeah, but you can't buy it in Ohio.
No, we have to go to Indiana to buy it. Yes, Jason, you do. Why don't you go grab that link and post it here for folks? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because stores close so quickly now. You can't say turn by whatever because it's not going to be there anymore.
Singleman, buy all you can in the overages for barter. Well, there's still a limit. There's still a limit.
But when you don't know how long it's going to last.
Well, you can't.
Oh, you're on your phone? Okay. Jason, just because it's you, I'll go out and look. Big Bear Homestead.
Well, Big Bear's on his phone, so
He can't go out and get a link
if he's on his phone, why isn't he called in here?
because he's talking to us.
I think that
Here we go.
I think Kilted Gardner should call in. I think Jason should call in. I think Sean in Alaska should call in. Singleman should call in.
Sabrina, get that towel ready. Bath time. You do your baths on Monday night, not Saturday, Richard? Enjoy your bath. I beat her to it.
Yeah, there's some people talk about having a bug out bag. That's
You're in your ugly state. Oh, give me a bag.
and that's absolutely great if you can. But a bug out bag's not going to handle everything on this list.
You and dog went on a hike. Your dog's going to get used to going on a hike and it's going to bug you every day now. Just remember. Smudge still wonders why when I go into the camper I'm not taking him with me. JRC, Homestead, Texas. Hey, you know, Robert, you don't care, we don't care. Where are you getting your chicks at? Because I know Big Bear gets them from Murray McMurray now. And they only have praises to say about that company.
Anybody is welcome to call in. I mean, that's one of the reasons we do this is to get you folks to think, to open up the doors of conversation amongst people that have like thoughts.
That's a good idea, Teresa.
There
You got
go.
yours from up here in Ohio. Yep, we were at Myers last year.
All right, we're getting a couple people in here now. So Hello, this is Daryl. Who's calling, please?
Hey,
This is
Simply
Brad.
Southern
Tennessee
Roots.
Living.
I'm sorry. Repeat that, please.
This is Brad with Tennessee Living.
Brad, how you
Brad and
doing?
Cindy's Tennessee Living.
Well, thank you for calling. Let me get a couple more of these people in the room here. It'll be just like a party line, so hang on. This is Daryl.
Alrighty.
This is Daryl. Who's calling, please?
You're going to keep poking the bear until I called in, weren't you?
Yeah.
You betcha. Okay, Jason, hang on. Let me get a. There's two more people waiting here. Or one more. Hold on. This is Daryl. Who's calling, please?
Hi, Daryl. This is Sean in Alaska.
Sean in Alaska. Okay. So we.
You said I should call in, so I figured I better call in.
Well,
There we
there
go.
you go. There you go. So, Sean, we have Jason is on the line. Sean, you're on the line. And is it Richard? Is that the other one?
Brad.
Brad. Brad.
Brad and Cindy.
Yeah, Brad is the third caller. And so, like I say, it's a party line. Say what's on your mind.
Well, I just figured I'd call in and just point out a couple other things that single man Eli was pointing out too. Having skill is probably as important, if not more important, than having everything that you have on that list right there, because you could have everything that you need on the list that you have right there, but if you don't know how to use them and you don't know how to do things for yourself, you're going to be in big trouble.
Yeah. That's why that makes skills the number one most important thing to have, because you can have, like, I'm looking up here, mason jars, medicine, protein bars, what else you got in here? Medical bag. If you don't know how to use, if you don't know basic first aid, your first responder supplies is going to be like reading Chinese to you, and you may end up doing more harm than good.
Exactly.
But on the other side of that coin, if you have those supplies and you could possibly enlist help of somebody else that knows how to use it, because you have the supplies, everybody's better off.
No, it doesn't work that way.
It can.
In like maybe in like Netherlands, it may work that way. But when fecal matter hits oscillation devices, people get mean, people get nasty, people go straight primal, and they see you have the supplies. They're going to act like they're going to help you out, and then they're going to take the stuff and go on and go.
Also,
It's better to learn this stuff now and become. I mean, what's the sense of going out and spending a couple of $1,000s and getting everything on your list if you don't know how to use any of it? You're only. It's no different than woodworking. You should not buy tools that are further along than your skill set. You need to let your skill set be further along than your tools, so then that way you can upgrade later on. There's no sense in getting a CPR kit if you don't know CPR. There's no sense in getting a 9mm handgun if you don't know how to shoot. There's no sense in getting a ferrule rod if you don't know how to use it. You got to expand on your skills before anything else.
Well, and on the other side
especially,
of that, if you have skills, you have barter besides just stuff. If you have skills, you don't lose that when you barter it. For
That's
example,
right.
I can make alcohol. I can make beer. I can make wine. I can make whiskey. I can do all of that stuff. That is worth a whole lot more than 5 bottles of booze that I got in my cupboard at home. So as a community begins to reform, your skills become more and more important at your standing and where you're at with that community, how important you are to everybody else around you.
well, exactly.
Exactly. Like you got the big Berkey water filter on there. Now that is a great system. We love our big Berkey, but if you don't know how to sanitize water without it, because those filters only last for so long, if you don't know how to purify that water without it, I mean, what good is it going to do? And if you don't know how to start a fire, then how are you going to purify the water when all that stuff is... Because this stuff here is finite. Everything that you got on there is finite. Because sooner or later, you may walk a hole in your boots. You're going to run out of bouillon cubes. You're going to, you may burn a hole in your burn barrel. All that kind of stuff is going to run out. So the prepping should lead into wanting to become more sustainable and move into more homesteading. And you take these skills that you learn and then you make it to where you don't have to having these things just makes it a force multiplier, but you can survive without them. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
But I do believe everybody should have a bug out bag. And the reason why I say that, and it doesn't have to be some super Rambo type bug out bag where you can go into the woods and survive indefinitely, because I don't know a person on the planet that can carry that bag. But it needs to have a lot of your basic necessities in it, because just because it's not an SHTF for me, but it may be for you, i.e. your house catches on fire, or
or a weather
home invasion or something,
or a weather related incident where a storm comes through and
Just like, yeah,
tornado takes your place away.
just like what Brett went through twice.
I think that is one of the hardest things and it should be kind of like a no-brainer, but it's one of the hardest things to get non-prepared mindset people to understand. Just because
Exactly.
you have a bug-out bag doesn't mean you're planning for the zombie apocalypse. You're planning for things that are more than likely going to happen to you: a house fire, tornado, hurricane, earthquake. All these things. Some of the things that are out of human control, and the other things that are. But sometimes stuff just happens, and it's always important to have a bug-out bag and have that bug-out bag stored in a place that's not inside your home, but that you can get your hands on in a short amount of time.
Well, by that same token, though, maybe you need to have 3 or 4 placed in different areas.
Oh, that's most definite.
Yeah.
You should have what they call a get home bag in your car. You guys should be able to have huge ones in that camper. You should have a bug out bag away from the house, and have them even set up. If you can even have them set up with different seasons, one for the summer, one for the winter.
Mm-hmm.
If you got a monsoon season, have one for that season.
But the whole point of tonight's discussion, and the reason I created a list that's 100 plus items here, is just to get people to think and talk.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I mean, you
start
can
real small. You can say, okay, how much food does my family eat in 3 weeks or 4 weeks?
Right.
And that's where you start.
Right.
So you don't break the bank to go buy it at the grocery store.
Right.
So this week you've got veggies. This week you've got veggies on buy one get one free in the can. And it's stuff that you eat anyway. And that's the other thing. Don't buy stuff you don't like because it stores well, because you're not going to like it, and you might as well have a little comfort while you're doing it. But this week you buy twice what you would normally buy on the buy one get one free veggies, and you put it in your cupboard. But make sure you use it. Make sure you rotate it. But get started somewhere.
well, and that's another important thing is a rotation, because just because you buy it today doesn't mean it's good forever.
And you would be amazed if you put an extra $20 into your food budget just for buying extra items, how far that extra $20 will go. And Lord knows everybody in this chat spends $20 on useless items, i.e. going to fast food or buying a Coca-Cola every now and then and stuff like that. That if, I know, like folks that smoke, if they would just cut back 1 pack of cigarettes and take that money that they'd spend on cigarettes and put it on preparedness items, then you could build a year's stockpile faster than you realize.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. But then the other side of that coin is you have to not become complacent with that. You have to continually work at it. You have to turn the products over. You can't just throw it into a bag and forget about it.
No, and you should be again you should be moving towards sustainability. So as you're storing vegetables, you also want to be learning, getting the skill set of gardening to be able to grow your own, and then getting the skill set of being able to preserve it, whether it's through dehydration, fermentation, canning, all those things. And then you can stop. Once you become very successful at gardening, then you stop buying the vegetables at the store, the canned vegetables at the store, because you're already canning your own, and then you take that money and add it to your preparedness budget, and then you're able to get more things, And then as you become more and more sustainable, you realize then that's when you can start really putting money aside to get you that 4-wheel drive bug out vehicle, to be able to get some of the better line of tools, whether it's a top of the line ferrule rod, top of the line knife, 3-in-1 tools, e-tools, all those kinds of things. And always when you're looking online to get some of these quote unquote preparedness kits or prepper kits, do your homework, read the reviews, and when you get these tools, don't let them sit there. Take them outside and use them.
In other words, develop your skill set.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like he was saying too about tuning up your, a lot of guys have chainsaws. All right. So when it's getting, when we're done with our chainsaw for the season, we clean it up, we take care of it, we prep it, we check everything we need to check on it. When it's coming time to cut wood again, we're pulling it out, we're checking the tension on the chain, we're making sure we got oil, we're making sure we got fuel, we're making sure we got everything set up. If you don't do that now with everything that you own, you probably have more problems than you need to have even right now. So just starting something like that will make life a whole lot easier, even if nothing ever happens, just because you won't be surprised when you go to grab something and it doesn't work.
Okay, we have another caller here, so we're going to let them in the room here.
I know who it is.
Joining. Okay, this is Daryl. Who's calling, please?
It's Darren from down under Farm and Forge.
Hi, Darren. How you doing?
Not too bad, man.
So, just if you would share with
It's my brother from down under.
just share with everybody in here where you're calling from.
I am calling from Melbourne in Australia.
Okay. So,
He came to my live stream on Saturday.
well, we allow him to do that, but I'm sure we warned him ahead of time.
I'm just throwing it out there. That's all. It was very cool to have him in our show.
So, Darren, what do you think? What do you think of the list? Do you have a bug out bag? Do you have stuff ready to go for the next stuff ready to go for the next 6 months? What's your plans?
Generally, I've got about 3 months at least of food on hand. And that's just my normal way of shopping because I don't like to go out in public and see people.
Like I said, my brother from down under.
It sounds to me like you should live in Alaska instead of Australia.
Well, I live in a city in Australia, so hey.
So what is the mindset in the area where you live? Since you're in a big town,
Yep.
obviously the domicile there is just totally, well, it's not totally different, but it's obviously different from the United States. So what's the mindset in general in the area that you're in?
The mindset in general is basically a bunch of sheeples. They go along with whatever the government says, and that's why we are currently the only place still in lockdown in the world.
Well, I don't know if I don't know if that's totally true, but it could be on a big scale. It might be.
I can't go more than 3 miles from home.
Wow.
It is against the law for me to go more than 3 miles from home.
So, all right, how does that work there? That I guess what I'm saying is, if you went 10 miles, how would a policeman know if you're 3 miles away from your home or something, or would the policeman stop you, or
if you get stopped by the policeman, it's a finable offence. They also have the sheriff. Now, our sheriff here is different from the sheriff there. Our sheriff here is fine enforcement and that sort of thing. And they have little cameras that sit on the side of the road that take pictures of your number plate and diagnose where you live.
Oy.
Wow.
Yeah, he said he can't go 3 miles from his house. Every American just sucked all the air out of the room that they were in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Christy, we'll need to go break them out. You got that right.
Hey, I'm telling you what, if they tried to ever pull that in the United States, I think that would be the initiation of a civil war. That would be, there's no way we could tolerate that.
Yeah, we'll see here. It's that's a good move.
Man.
Unbelievable.
That's the completely different mindset.
So how?
Yeah.
All right. So how do people? Well, I need to ask. How do people make a living? I mean, does everybody work within 3 miles of their home?
At the moment, a lot of people are off work still.
Okay.
They've been in lockdown for about 7 months on and off.
And so how are their bills getting paid?
The government is printing money at the moment.
I see.
Which, of course, that's never going to come due, that debt, is it?
So it sounds to me like it's the Democrats running your place over there.
Pretty much. Our country is a lot more socialist than yours.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry.
Oh, Lord, out of the mouth of old people.
I used to think I'd like to visit, but I'm not sure I would. We have.
Australia is a beautiful place to visit.
Okay.
I've always wanted
It's a
to go
beautiful
there.
place to visit, but you wouldn't want to live here.
All right.
I have a cousin in New South Wales that I really want to go down and see because she lives in some place called Wollongong or something. And the pictures she shows me are just gorgeous. She's got parrots landing on her deck. It's crazy.
Okay. We've got another caller. So this one, I believe, is from Indiana.
It will stop freaking that.
This is Daryl. Who's calling, please? Brad, can you hear me?
Yeah. I was trying to call in, but now I can see you guys.
Yeah, you're here.
Farmer Brad.
Hello. I was just replacing the battery in my wife's van
Oh, okay.
and got home.
So I'm sure I know you've been in the stream here for a while, so you know what we're all talking about. And Darren has just explained to us how he's not allowed to go more than 3 miles from his home, and he's Australian.
Man, I have to get my granddaughter
That
fixes
just-
somehow. Since I can't get them here, I have to go to Georgia to get mine.
Yeah, there's a guy that I know. His mom's up in Canada, and whenever she goes to the United States to get medicine, when she goes back, she has to quarantine for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And so he's trying to time it that when she goes down to the United States, that he'll go up there so that they can quarantine together. Otherwise, it's a waste of a trip.
Wow. So I'm a little curious. I want to get back to you again here for a second, Darren.
Yeah.
Is there any exceptions to this rule? I mean, if you had family that was 40 or 50 miles away and they were ill, could you get a hall pass to go visit them?
No, family's not an exception. Family's not an exception. You essential services, a job for essential services is an exception. So yeah, there are exceptions, but they're very few and far between.
Wow.
Holy smokes.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, Bev from our half-acre homestead, and she's in Canada, she was talking about something similar going on there also. That's just crazy.
Darren, I'm kind of curious. I'm sure this is something you do not agree with.
No.
Okay. Can you give your opinion anyway? How did the people in your area ever get sucked into this rat hole?
Much like the people all over the world, they took the lead off Facebook. I blame Facebook for how bad this whole thing's become. The shortages of toilet paper around the world in 24 hours, that was purely Facebook and everything like that. And they've taken it to heart. And they just want to look at the mass information rather than what's actually real. And so the government says, this is the best thing for you. And they go, yep, no worries.
So does the government in Australia, I mean, is it, I'm not at all familiar. Is it an election system like what we have here? And maybe you don't know.
Yes, it is an election system. It's similar to what you have there. We have independents who manage to get the power in the government a lot of the time because we have mandatory voting, whereas you guys do not have mandatory voting. You have to want to vote there. So here we have mandatory voting, and there's a lot of minor parties that end up getting a balance of power.
But they haven't been
So
able.
are you guys a parliamentary system?
Yeah, we have a different parliamentary system. We have the same system as the English.
That's what I thought. Okay, just like the UK does.
Yeah, yours is based around the English system loosely, but ours is the English system.
Wow. I mean, that's like here. I still have a problem with somebody that's been elected mayor of our local town making a proclamation that, well, nobody in this town can be out after 8 o'clock at night. Or we're going to close all the bars down at 8 o'clock. Everything turns into a zombie at 8 o'clock. Where do they get this power? I don't understand it. Let me let somebody else in the room here. We've got another caller. This is Daryl.
Yeah.
Who's calling, please? Adam? Adam?
G'day, how you going?
Ooh,
Hey, mate.
Adam here from Silhouette Park Farm.
I was going to say another Aussie. I knew who it was without even having to hear the name.
Okay, so we have a couple Australians, so we're learning a little bit more here.
Yes,
Yeah,
a Queenslander and a Victorian.
So ours is a little bit different than Daz's down there in Melbourne because we've had pretty much more open up here than those guys. So it's been good for us.
Okay.
You can actually go for a drive.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, we're open to pretty much go anywhere in the state, which is pretty cool.
So how far apart are you two?
Last time I drove to Melbourne, it took me 2 days.
Wow.
Yeah.
So it's across the country.
So, It's across the country. It's north to south. To drive down to Melbourne, about 17 hours if you drive straight through. 17, 18 hours to drive straight through.
Wow. But and then, I mean, you almost make it sound like it's totally polar opposite in your area from Melbourne.
For us, it definitely is. It's we had some lockdowns for a couple of weeks, but they opened up. They shut all the borders to our state, so a lot of people that are just over the border just literally aren't allowed to come here at all without doing a 2-week quarantine before coming into the state.
Okay. So
we're actually able to travel around. I'm actually a full-time musician, is my full-time job. So instead of my 200 or 300 shows that I've normally done by now, I've done 7 shows this year because a lot of the venues have shut down with restrictions and stuff because of the old beer flu.
Okay, and now we all have to know what you say. You're a musician. What do you play? You a singer? You play an instrument? You in a stage show? What do you do?
Yeah, I'm last 25 years I've been working in the Australian country music industry and in the rock industry. I'm a guitarist, singer-songwriter, and just get out there and do what I do and love doing it. So it's good fun.
Well, fantastic.
And as a carpenter, he makes a great musician.
You're still picking on my cuts, Darren.
Yes, I am.
Very funny. I built we did a video on making a grape trellis the other day, and Darren, he's a chippy, a builder by trade. He was picking on my carpentry skills.
Well, okay. Now we're going back to skill set. So, Jason, you can step in here. We're back into having the proper skill set before you get the tools here.
You know, I've been watching your list go by, and you're missing something that's kind of important.
Oh, I certainly did not say it was an all-inclusive list, and the entire list is not there. For some reason, it got cut off. But what is important? What is missing?
PVC.
Okay. So go ahead and explain yourself.
Elaborate.
Yeah, you need to elaborate on that.
Well, I mean, if you're not allowed to go but like 3 miles away from your house, as an example, and you have a water line break, you're going to have to fix it. That's true. If Home Depot or whatever is 4 or 5 miles away, you can't go and get it. PVC can be used for a lot of different things. You can use it to... Sorry, Gizmo's wandering the house. You can use it to make a hoop house. You can use it... I mean, there's all kinds of... I've even seen somebody make a makeshift bow with PVC. It wasn't very effective, but...
It would maybe make a better blowgun.
Yeah,
you got to put the fiberglass cores into it to make it a bug.
Yeah.
Yeah. but
Jason, that hits close to home because I'm currently working on hand digging a trench until I get past the electrical, the water line to my barn. But I'm using 1-inch poly pipe.
Okay.
While the stores are open.
So I think that was Brad talking. Yes. No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're in Indiana. I'm guessing you have to dig down about 18 inches or so.
I think 32 or 34 inches. I'm in East Central Indiana, but the galvanized pipe last winter busted underneath a concrete slab, So it basically gives me the opportunity to sort of recreate the route that I want it to go. And the one benefit is I'll be able to put a frost-free hydrant in the middle of my garden
Cool.
by rerouting it. But the tricky part is there's electrical that's buried that goes from the house to the barn. So I have to hand dig until I clear the electrical. Then I can rent a trencher.
Okay, I'm just surprised you have to go that deep. I didn't think you were. I thought you were a little bit further south, maybe in Indiana, than what you are. So,
Well, we're kind of like on the edge where ice storms happen, and but like I grew up in northern or like North Manchester area, and we would get really heavy snows. But yeah, this last week, a construction worker told me that was like 32 to 34 inches, and as I'm digging down to reach the old pipe, it's down there a ways.
okay, and I want to say hello to Fireman CV. I see he has joined the chat here. I haven't talked to him for a while. He's up in the New England area. So,
Anticoagulant powder is good to have on hand.
Or flour.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
flour will do it.
You can jam flour in if you have to.
Cool.
I'm still fascinated at the difference between the two areas there in Australia. I mean, is there like a hard line somewhere in the middle of the state where it just changes from 3 miles to unlimited?
There's the
you
metro area for us. So the metro area of Victoria is in a hard lockdown. The regional area of Victoria is in a lighter lockdown, and it varies state by state, which is unusual for us because we don't normally have the state by state changes that you guys have there, because our states aren't so independent. You're a group of colonies, whereas we're not.
I see.
In Queensland, we're in rural Queensland. We have, so we're on 44 acres at our property here, and we have, I think, Brisbane's over 100 kilometres from here, so we're not too far from Brisbane. But yeah, we've just pretty much, we had a small lockdown where they restricted where you were allowed to go within 50 kilometres from home for a couple of weeks, and then they opened it up to 500 kilometres, and now it's open to anywhere in the state.
And there's about 1.75 kilometres in a mile.
Yeah, we probably should mention that, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you guys would just, learn English measurements and
Hey, that's what gets me. You guys threw
I
off.
think there's only 3 countries in the world that still use imperial measurements, isn't there?
You guys threw off English rule, but you hang on to that English measurement system beyond the English using it.
Yep.
The English don't even use it anymore.
That's right. That's right.
Just let go of the past, people. Let go of it.
Hey, it works for us.
yeah, I'm pretty sure I could convert over for the most part, but I'd get a little.
When I was a kid growing up and going to school, and I'm 58 years old now, we were all taught the metric system because that's what we were going to. And now, mind you, I'm 58 years old now, and I was probably in the 5th grade then, but we were all going to the metric system. So we may get there. You don't need to remind us about it again and again. Every 10 years, you don't need to bring it up. We'll be there eventually.
I'm sunk if we do.
I could just imagine the uproar in the United States if you had to go to metric.
Okay, I mean, so here's a great example, right? What sounds cooler? My temperature was 24 degrees Saturday morning when I woke up. All right? For you guys, that would be like -7.
Yeah. Ours makes sense. Water boils at 100 degrees and it freezes at 0 degrees.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of does that way, but I don't know. It just sounds cool when I get to like -25 and -35. But when I get to -40, we match again.
That's because of the plus 32 in the equation.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Yep.
I don't know. There's way too many numbers in this equation for me.
I'm just over here thinking about all the tools I'll have to replace.
Hey, maybe then we could all have a 10 millimeter wrench.
That is the wrench that disappears more often than any other wrench I have.
It'll be a spanner
Oh,
then.
God. It'll be a spanner then. And I don't care what anybody says. I'm not ever going to call a cookie a biscuit.
Well, I'm never going to call a scone a biscuit.
Exactly. Same thing, yeah.
Oh my!
It's a scone.
Now, you have to understand, when I was growing up, both my grandfathers were from England, and my dad's dad lived with us. So, growing up, I was used to all the scones and biscuits, and him teaching me how to hold a cup of tea with my my pinky up in the air. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And we enjoyed a crumpet with it as well.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. And I would just sit there and listen to every word, probably because I like the accent. So that has stuck with me all these years.
Speaking of which, I actually had crumpets and Vegemite for breakfast this morning.
Oh, here we're talking about Vegemite again. We went there last week. In fact, I saw I saw a collab where they did Vegemite.
Yes.
It was
Homestead Aquarius.
That's right. That's what it was. Yeah.
I think I neglected to put Vegemite on this list.
I don't think that's a necessity.
It is.
Yeah,
It's one of the
Spam
things.
It 100%
is. You got to put spam on the list.
Spam.
Spam and Vegemite.
I was going to say, if we're going to have spam, you have to have
There we
Vegemite,
go.
I guess.
Oh my goodness! All right. Well, let me run through the callers here first. I remember Adam.
Yeah,
I remember
see,
Darren.
Even Fireman CV Daryl says that I have 20 10-millimeter wrenches. That way he always has one.
Do you have some of mine? Okay, let's
Say mine.
let's see who all we've got on. I know Adam is here, Darren is here, Jason is here, and there's two other callers still on. Is Sean still here?
I'm still there.
All right, Sean from Alaska is still here, and there's one more that I did not mention.
I know Brad left.
It's Brad.
Farmer,
Brad's still here.
well, Farmer Brad. He had to go inside.
Okay, well, there's somebody here. I'm not sure who it is, but they're still here. So, anyway, the phone lines are open if you'd like to like to join the conversation here. Just a general open discussion on prepping, things to have on hand. A little bit to talk about skill sets versus material goods. I think there are certain circumstances that can be weighed either way. Of course, I can say that just to get a rise out of somebody here too.
I'm with Jason. Skill sets.
Skill sets are very, very important, but
I'm a part-time blacksmith and knife maker. So if I get some metal and some heat, I can make whatever I need.
Okay, but can you do that without having some of the hard materials there to do that? I mean,
if I've got a lump of steel, I can make a hammer.
Okay, but in order to make that hammer, you have to have other implements. You have to have some sort of the heat source, probably some sort of a blower to accelerate that heat to the point where you can work the metal. Some sort of an anvil to pound it and form it and shape it.
That comes back to skill source. I can make a bellows out of a piece of cloth, piece of leather, and a pot.
Okay.
And the ability to make things like his own charcoal and all that is a skill set that's learnt. And unfortunately, sort of a few people don't realize too, a lot of these skill sets that you need to learn, you need to have the stuff there to be able to learn the skill set.
Yep. Yeah,
So
exactly.
it goes both ways. They're both equally as important as each other. But one is a now and one is a you can take with you forever.
Right.
Mm.
Right.
And it probably would behoove everybody to take one thing that they're really passionate about and learn how to do it from beginning to end. So how to make something happen, even if nothing ever hits the fan. When you're done, you walk away with a skill that you enjoy, something you love to do.
Oh, I don't disagree with that at all.
Somebody's phone is ringing.
Yeah, I thought I heard somebody's phone, but I couldn't tell from where it was coming from. I see
Yeah, it was mine. Sorry.
You're
I see
fine.
a Fishes and Lowe's life is apparently, and I don't know where they're from.
She's in Florida.
She's in Florida. Well, I would think, especially getting into this season, that there's going to be some pretty good sized gun shows down in your area that you would not have any trouble at all picking up a pump action shotgun.
And just go online. You can buy them online every day, right?
Ready? Do you want to sit there?
I don't know that you can do that
I mean,
right now.
I can't up here.
Okay. I mean, I can't go to the local Walmart here now and do that. There are a couple gun stores that I can go to, but I can't go into Walmart and do it. I can go into Rural King. Rural King still has a pretty decent selection, or at least
Yeah, our Walmart's up here don't carry guns anymore at all either.
So
What's his gun thing?
oh, that's
It's America's pastime. It was so fun. They made a special organization in the United States just to cover our three favorite things: alcohol, tobacco, and firearms.
yeah. The gun thing is a pastime to poke holes in paper.
Yeah.
No, last time I visited, I wasn't even allowed to shoot. Went to a range, and because I was a foreign citizen, they wouldn't let me have a gun.
Wow.
Well,
That's disappointing.
obviously, I don't know where this was at, but I can
This
tell
was
you.
in North Carolina,
But
but evidently it was a ATF rule.
But I can pretty well assure you that, had you been visiting our place, had you been visiting Jason's place, had you been visiting probably most anybody in the chat room here, if you'd been visiting one of our places, you'd had no problem, being able to shoot.
Well, mind you,
Heck,
I
I
went
think
to.
they issue to Alaska.
I'm sorry.
Mind you, I went
When you get to Alaska, I think they give you one.
I don't think you're allowed to go to Alaska without at least at least having something on you, are you?
Yeah, you got to have something with you.
Mind you, I walked into Walmart and I could buy an air rifle, which we can't even buy here without a license.
Okay.
Oh wow.
Yeah, we can't even own a pellet gun in Australia without a special license.
Wow.
I just bought this girl a pellet rifle.
What about like bow and arrow?
There's no restrictions on bow and arrow in Queensland. I think there's a couple on hunting regulations in Victoria, down where you are, Darren.
You're allowed a bow and arrow. You're not allowed a crossbow. Crossbow is considered a dangerous weapon. You need a dangerous weapons license.
Yeah, you need a Class M license in Australia to own a crossbow. Yeah, so it goes under the Special Weapons Act.
Ow.
Okay, so it doesn't.
That's crazy.
It doesn't have to then obviously it's more than what do I want to say? An explosive device, because obviously the bow is not that. So,
It's strange. I've actually, as a avid shooter myself and hunter, I both bow hunt and rifle hunt, and I do it quite a lot. I also competition shoot with handgun competition, and the restrictions in Australia are absolutely ridiculous. I'm fully in agreement with the licensing system, because it does keep them out of the hands of some absolute idiots out there. But yeah, we don't really have a problem getting what we want, though. You've just got to jump through all the hoops and go through all the rules.
Well, a very quick question for you: has it prevented criminals from getting guns?
No.
Nah.
No.
Doesn't that say it all?
There's a ongoing thing of how many crimes are committed by legal gun owners, and the answer is 0.
Well, unless you include defending your house with an empty 22, that was against the law.
Yeah, that's against the law.
Wait a minute. You can't defend it with an empty gun?
No, you're not allowed to draw a gun unless it's imminent life. And there's another rule in there, Darren. I can't remember what it is, but yeah,
you're not allowed to have
very slim. You're not allowed to use one.
You're not allowed to pull a gun in defense at all, because you have to have the gun and the ammunition stored in separately locked containers. So that's premeditation.
Oh, so can you just throw the gun at him?
No, because it's got to be locked up.
The gun's got to be locked up in a safe, weighing not less than 200 pounds.
Is there a market over there for these little stars that have the
like those ninja stars?
The ninja stars with the knives sticking.
No, you actually need a class M. You actually need a class M license to own ninja stars.
Oh, jeez.
Yes, shuriken.
Oh,
not joking.
Oh my goodness!
So then I guess my 1911 on my nightstand is probably illegal in Australia.
If it's there for the purposes of yeah.
If it's in a crystal clear 200-pound safe, you're fine.
It's all right. What you need to do is just lock yourself inside your safe, and then you'll be fine.
Jeez.
There we go.
Well,
there we go.
The more important question is, gentlemen, what is your average police response time if somebody breaks into your house?
Do we have a police response time?
Yeah, no.
Exactly.
I'm a knife maker. I pity the person who breaks into my house.
Oh, the knives are legal then?
As long as I do not take them outside of the house.
Okay.
They are
so we're not even allowed to carry
purposes.
a folding pocket knife in public. So
Wait a minute. You can't have a pocket knife in your pocket and walk down the street.
No.
No matter what the length of the blade is, if it's 2 inches long.
Length of blade has nothing to do with it. You have to have a justifiable reason, and that reason is justifiable as defined by the police officer who pulls you up.
So justifiable would not be cleaning my fingernails.
No.
Good Lord. I'm sorry.
and another difference in Australia too is if a police officer asks you for your identification for any reason, we're required by law to carry identification at all times and to identify ourselves to a police officer.
Man, thank God I live in America.
Yeah, I don't have that big an issue with identification.
That doesn't affect us because, like, in reality, I'm not doing anything wrong, so I don't care. So
Yeah, that law only matters to people over here that want to stir the pot.
yeah,
True, but wow, that's crazy though. Wow. Even the knife thing. But when I was in Ireland, it was the same thing. And nobody told me until I'd been there for a week, and I had a pocket knife in my pocket for the entire week. And I pulled it out to do what Daryl said, to clean my fingernails when we were at a I forget, we were at a castle or something. And one of the girls that we were visiting over there was a friend of my mom's family and everything else, and she was housing us for the whole time. She goes, "Oh my God, you can't have a knife." And I thought, "What are you talking about? It's a pocket knife."
Oh, my.
Yeah, I'm sitting here trying to rattle my brain if when I was there in Queensland, if I had my pocket knife on me, because it was a requirement for us to carry one all the time. And so I think when I went on Liberty, it might have just been a habit. I probably walked around Brisbane with my pocket knife in my pocket.
Okay, so, and again, just to enlighten those of us in here that don't have a clue, if in Australia somebody breaks into your house,
On the phone.
okay, the best you can do is what? Pee on them?
That may
You
be
can-
against the law. So if you can't get your pocket knife out,
you can. Yeah, you go, Darren.
We don't have a castle defence doctrine. You're supposed to retreat if at all possible. It comes under the use of force law. I did
The
used to be able to,
escalating use of force law.
yeah, which I did used to be able to quote back when I was doing security, but I can't anymore. But you have to justify each and every action you take in defence. So even if you're a security guard with a gun and you shoot someone, you have to shoot, stop, pause. And then if the threat is still imminent, shoot again. Same thing defending your home, and you've got to justify how you have any sort of weapon in your hand. So it's not
Yep.
premeditation. If you have a
There's
baseball
no
bat,
such thing as a warning shot in Australia. You are not allowed to do a warning shot to somebody because that means you had a pre-intention to use the weapon.
Oh, I think warning shots are useless. You know, why waste a bullet?
Yeah, I'm with you.
but if you have a baseball bat by the side of your front door, that's premeditation.
gosh,
Really?
Yep.
So can you
100%.
can you have it like up on the wall with a glove underneath it or something? Like
You
it's
can
a
have it up
display?
on the wall with a glove underneath it, and you've taken advantage of an opportunity if you're good at law.
there you go. All depends on how you word it.
Okay.
Thinking outside the box. Well, look, y'all, I'm gonna get off here. Got a busy day tomorrow, and y'all have a wonderful night. Thank you for letting me be a part of it, and
Take care, Jason.
everybody stay safe.
Tell Doc we said hi.
Will do.
Good to talk to you as always, mate.
Take
See you
care.
later,
Yes, y'all have a good one, y'all.
Take care, Jason.
Bye.
Bye.
Speaking of which, guys, I think I've got to make a move myself. It's heading towards 1 o'clock in the afternoon here, so I better get out and do something.
Mate, it's past 1 o'clock, aren't you on daylight saving shift?
No, you're on Mickey Mouse time, mate.
Mickey Mouse.
Well, Adam, I thank you so much for calling in.
Yeah, not a problem, guys.
We really enjoy hearing and learning about some of these other areas.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, you also intrigued me with your musician skills.
Well, that's not
I've been putting a few songs onto our channel as well, sneaking them into a couple of videos.
Cool.
All the music on our videos is actually I actually sit here and record it myself. So all the little stuff in the background, so we don't get copyright strikes. So
Okay.
it's nice and easy.
Okay, so be sure that that you type into the chat here, so people can find you. And
Yeah, not a problem. We'll do. I've got to make a move anyway. We'll see us all later.
All right,
Take
Adam.
care.
Later, Adam. Talk later, mate.
Yeah, see you, Daz. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Adam.
Take care. Yeah, it's 10:45.
Yeah, I'm thinking we're gonna start to kind of shut things down. We have Darren still on the phone, and there's I think Sean maybe.
Yeah, but I'm going to bail out too because I got to get up at 2:00 in the morning to go to work. So
Ugh.
Okay. Okay. Well, Sean.
thank you guys very much. Lots of fun.
Sean,
Well,
thank
if you're going
you.
to shut things down, I'll mosey on as well then.
You take care, Darren.
And Darren,
And
thank you so
Sean.
much. We certainly appreciate you guys calling in, and it's sharing your knowledge with those of us that just we're more than 3 miles away from your place.
Yeah, really. Just a few.
Yeah, well, hopefully I will be over there as soon as the borders open.
Well, would love to meet you in real life, in person.
Yeah, that'd be great.
So
Yeah, I was supposed to be in Georgia in April last year, or this year.
well, we know where that is.
Yeah.
That's quite a drive for us, but we know where it is, and we have been there more than once. So
Yep.
okay.
All right. Hello,
Darren,
everyone.
Darren, thanks so much. Sean, thank you for calling in.
Thank you guys.
Have a wonderful evening, wonderful week. Next week we'll kind of be back to the regular type thing.
City Girl Country Heart will be our guest.
City Girl
next
Country
Monday.
Heart will be our guest next Monday, and real special thank you to our moderators out here. You guys always do a fabulous job. We love having you.
Oh, Adam, it was great having you on the line. Thanks for calling in.
And what else? Anything else?
And that's it.
Somebody gave us a super chat earlier. Thank you, whoever that was. I'm sorry, I don't remember who it was. Maybe I can find out here. Maybe I can find out here.
It was Ridge Life.
Ridge Life, thank you
Yes.
so much for the
Yes.
super chat.
Yeah, Fireman CV. We've been on since 9, so.
So, if anybody would like to become a member of Smudges Pack, just click that join button down below. Would love to have you. And remember, this is probably the only channel that gives back to the super chat members.
Mm-hmm.
All right, thanks everybody. Have a wonderful time, and we will see you next week. Tomorrow night.
Thanks, Teresa.
Tomorrow night we're going to do the Tech Tuesday. Right? Yes? Maybe?
I don't know. That's up to you.
It's up to me.
It's your night.
My night. All right. Everybody have a wonderful evening. And remember, if you hold your nose, you can't hum. Take care, everybody. Good night.
Good night, everybody.